Hello, GC Rad 1 here, Yamaha TDUB Club, and this week I am doing the TDUB report for November 2020. This is the first edition. I don't know if there'll be a second edition, but this is what I'm doing this week because I didn't get to go ride this past weekend. My hand has taken on, I can close this hand all the way, can't close this hand all the way. Not that I need to close it all the way, but getting a little elderly, and I don't know if it's the elderly, because I know old folks that don't have it or didn't get it or whatever, but for some reason I have this thing going on with my hand, and it is what it is. It's been a lot of work around the property here. Been doing a lot of manual labor, more than have normally done, but at the same time I'm throwing in some trail action and doing all that kind of good stuff. But anyhow, let's get on to what we're getting on about this week. So basically what I am going to do is kind of share with you some YouTube followers, or actually what am I subscribed to, like who do I subscribe to, who do I watch, and all that. And through the Yamaha TDUB Club, I will, you know, when you hit your subscriptions, you can manage those and see who all you subscribe. I am not sharing all of them in one setting because this is already a lengthy list, but I just went and kind of hit the highlights of what I'm following or who I'm following. Alright, so I'm just going to jump right into it, and at the top of the list, A kind of starts at the top. I'm not starting at Z this week. Don't know if there'll be another week of me doing this. Again, this is just something kind of fun and different that I wanted to try, and it's a way for me to kind of give a shout out to some of you guys out there, because yeah, I do follow you too. Alright, so anyhow, my first one that I'm going to start with this week is these names kind of crack me up, but it's ADACASANE. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm just going to go with ADACASANE. Anyhow, he's, according to his About section, it just simply said Wilderness TDUB riding. And it's a very small description, but it leaves a lot to the wilderness adventure spirit. But he is making some cool trails up in the Pacific Northwest, riding some cool trails, and he caught my eye with some cool camera locations on his bike. He's mounting the camera on the swing arm or the foot peg or the side, or you know, off the engine case. And it's the Pacific Northwest. It's just kind of like, more and more I'm seeing that as like a moto dreamscape. But anyhow, check his page out. You know, give him a thumbs up, and let's encourage him to keep making more TDUB videos, especially out of the Pacific Northwest. Oh, that was the one that caught me. He had a chainsaw, electric chainsaw that he was carrying on his bike, and he was kind of cutting some section and making trail. So yeah, that's ADACASANE out of the Pacific Northwest. So this next guy, Adventure Brad, he has a few TW200 videos, with this latest called On the Hunt for Snow. And he loaded that up back in January 27 of 2019. So I contacted him and asked him, like, hey man, like, are you gonna be making any more TDUB videos? Did you sell it? What do you got? And he basically said that he just needs more time editing. He's got more stuff coming. I don't think his page is definitely not dedicated to just the TW200, but he has some rad like videos. He's like strapping this big airplane engine on his back with a big parachute wing, paraglide wing, and he blasts off and rides that thing around, and he's doing some overland adventures in his big rig. So yeah, it's a cool page to check out. But that one, On the Hunt for Snow, I think he's like in Southern California and was like working his way up the backside of Big Bear, what it looked like from the desert side to the mountain side, and he was just getting his TDUB on in the snow. So pretty cool. So stop by Adventure Brad, check him out. Scroll down if you want to see those specific TDUB videos. Oh, there's one that he did. He talked about wiring his TDUB to be in blackout mode, and yeah, I kind of backing that. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that wiring. He breaks into the wiring harness and sets up a switch so he can kill all of his lights and continue riding. I like your style, Brad. All right. Anyhow, so the next guys I like to follow is Adventure Spec, well, ADV Spec, and one day I hope to own a full set of their riding gear. They are a shop. They sell some stuff, and first of all, these guys are out of the UK or Europe. Sorry, I'm not real sure. I haven't done my complete homework on them. I just know that I like their gear. I found out about their riding gear through Lyndon Poskitt. You know, he has those Races to Places video series. I'll talk more about him down below because he's just another guy that, you know, I like to follow. But anyhow, these guys actually do some really informative videos about their product, and they do some videos about their rides. They do rally rides, not like super high-end performance, more weekend fun. Like they make, I think they have a video, it's like a Tupperware roll chart for just getting out and doing rally adventure rides, you know, over across the pond. But anyhow, I like their videos when they talk about the gear. Their gear is really tech. They're all about the layering system. It's very, like for the adventurist, like their gear is pretty on point. But they're a really small company, so they're not like these big guys that we're used to seeing with, you know, bigger brands and more publicly aware, you know, presence. So I like that because it's kind of different, and Lyndon Poskitt spoke highly of it when he first started wearing it. He had a hand in helping develop the product, if I'm not mistaken, but he also rides Clem product, and they were asking him about, you know, why did he go back to Clem for his second video series, and he just basically said, while the Adventure Spec guys are his bros, just the funds to sponsor his event, because I think he took 10 riders to Dakar this last time. I think he had 3 teams. I'm not real sure how the math all works out, but he had a big group, so he needed like 10 complete kits for all these guys, and to ask Adventure Spec to throw down, that was, you know, he knew that was to be a bit much. And so Clem, who is his other favorite brand, and it's my favorite brand. I've been wearing their pants for quite some time now. I don't have any more than the pants and the jersey, but I do like their product. But check out their videos. They got some cool stuff. So in the adventure realm, ADVrider.com. Yes, they have a YouTube page, and what's cool about ADV Rider, and this may be one of those things like getting in really deep, especially for a TW200 rider. Maybe you're a TDUB rider that has other adventure bikes. ADV Rider is kind of like our home. It's where I found myself a home when I first got back into motoing. You know, I'm not a dirt bike, you know, like a track guy. I don't race MX. I'm not a freestyle motocross guy. I'm not a desert racer, but I do like riding in the desert, but it's more adventure style. So when I found this ADVrider.com like forum, that was like, it was my new home. I built my XR400 through that page. I had my ATK built through that page, and my KTM 950 Adventure is where I really cut my teeth in the forum landscape. And so that this website has been really close to me. I've learned a lot through there, and they just have the true adventure riding spirit. You'll blow your mind with the amazing photography and the amazing trips and all these guys doing these around the world journeys. And it's not all about just BMWs. Actually, it's what originally was the like initial spark to me paying attention to the TW200s. They have a thread in there. I think it's like 250cc and below. Well, actually, they have a TW200 specific thread. It's only one thread, and it's just thousands of people talking about their, TW200 adventures or mods. It's just one singular TDUB thread, and so it's actually a really cool place. I don't know what more to say than to go check out ADVrider.com. And so on their YouTube channel, they're doing interviews with, like the guy that started Clem. They're doing interviews with big movers, makers, and shakers in the motorcycle industry. The guy that started ADV Rider, he started Smug Mug with his family in the past year or two. They actually purchased Flickr, which was really dear to me. Like, that kind of woke me up because I've been a Flickr user since 2005, and so I've invested a lot of time, effort, and into that photo pool, I guess you could say. Even though that they started a Smug Mug just so they could have people load photos to the forum, I actually started my Flickr before I found ADV Rider, and I didn't switch. I stayed with Flickr. So, okay, enough with that. So anyhow, let's move on to number 5 on my list, and it's ADVmoto Magazine. Now, this magazine's pretty cool. It's the oldest bi-monthly print and online magazine dedicated to international adventure dual sport motorcycling. The people, the stories, the places, the ride reports, the reviews, techniques, tips, culture, and more. And rumor has it that one of the editors has a TW200. Not me. I said one of the editors, actually, at the magazine. But there's also rumor that a TW200 travel story is coming up in the December issue, and this is a bi-monthly magazine. So down in the paragraph below, I will make sure to drop links to all of these videos that I'm talking about are actually these people, and I'll actually drop a magazine link along with ADVmoto Magazine's YouTube page, so that way you can maybe jump on a subscription and get it before that December issue comes out, so we can check out what kind of coolness is coming from ADVmoto Magazine. Okay, so this one right here, I'm gonna tell you this is a wild one. C90 Adventures. Now, this guy, man, when I first discovered this channel, I lost 2 days. Like, I was buried in YouTube, like, it seemed like around the clock for 2 or 3 days. It's like I watched half the night, got it the next day, got my wife to, watch a bunch of the videos with me. We wound up watching them all. I went back to the beginning. It was I spent a lot of time on learning who Ed March is. So here's what I wrote. I became enamored with Ed March's channel earlier this year. I watched his Alaska to Argentina series of videos. Okay, do you know what a Honda C90 is? This cat from the UK shipped his bike over to the US in the middle of the winter. Not middle of the winter, it was almost winter. Yeah, it was winter because it was snowing. But he rode, and actually he talked his girlfriend, who also had a C90. I won't say technically girlfriend, but a girl who is a friend a friend who is a girl that also had a C90, like the little Honda C90, you know, with the white fairing, you know, basket on the front. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you right now, if these cats can do the types of adventures that they're doing on a Honda C90, okay, TDUB crew, there's no excuse after this. Once you go in and you watch these C90 adventure videos, game over. Like, game over. This cat is killing it. So, he rode from Alaska all the way across to the east coast of Alaska in the wintertime, minus 30 degrees, and he camped out in tents. Half the time they were in tents, they weren't always staying in it. They did not stay in a hotel every night. They would poach a camp spot wherever in the tent, 30 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. So, anyhow, he dropped into the U.S., did the Transamerica Trail across to California. So, Transamerica Trail starts on the East Coast, Tennessee, North Carolina, somewhere across there. So, he trucked it all the way across Colorado to California. Transamerica Trail through the eastern parts was like really cool. Then they get to the Midwest. It was really just straight lines, and you know, he found ways to, you know, break the boredom. But when they hit Colorado, oh my God, like I just want to go ride those trails there. Just look just insane. They get to LA. They're like in the LA thick of it. Then they're like, oh, let's go to Argentina. So they loaded up and crossed the border, and off to South America they went. So you're like, okay, how on earth did this all happen? And so I, in my due diligence in between watching all those videos, I scrolled all the way to the very beginning of his YouTube channel to watch his first video in 2011 of him riding from England to Germany's Elephant Rally. And yes, snow, snow, snow. Okay, so I looked up this Elephant Rally. This Elephant Rally's been happening in Germany since 1989, and it's typically in January or February. Either way, they said guaranteed snow. They're doing a rally moto camp out mishmash in the snow. 5,000 to 10,000 people show up every year. Yes, let me clear my throat. 5,000 to 10,000 people on motorcycles in January and February in Germany, in the middle of the forest. I think it was the Black Forest or something like that. I can't remember. But they're showing up and just having a big, you know, as Germans do, a big bash of a moto event in the snow. Okay. Time to rethink the TDUB action, man, because these... Okay, so I wrote a pre-warning here. So, when you watch Ed Marsh, he's English. He's young. Young plus English equals let your imagination roam. But if you're younger in the audience, be careful, because your mom's gonna go, what the heck are you watching? Because he's English and he's young and he likes to have fun. I'm just gonna leave it to your imagination, but I gave you a pre-warning, and that's part of the adventure. Like, I love Ed March. That cat, he cracks me up, man. Leaves South America to go do, I think he did like a 10-day Thailand trip, like where guys were flying to Thailand, buying C90s. Like the first 2 days of the trip, they go out and they find C90s used. They fix them up. They spend a day fixing them up, and then they do 4 or 5, 6, 8 days of just motoing, camping, and going around the island. He's done I think a Cambodia trip, Indo trip, like he's done a few different trips, and I'm kind of jealous because he's kind of got it going on, and I really like that. So, yeah, go watch Ed March, C90 Adventures. Of course, I'll link it down below and get you there the easy way. All right, so moving along. This next video series that I watch, Cross Training Adventure Riding, and okay, so I'll just read the description. I always go to any one person, company, brand, or anything. When I get interested in them, I'll go to their about and read what they're all about, or at least try to, because sometimes they don't tell you what they're all about. They give you some smirky, quirky thing and leave you in the dark, but you have to go watch all the videos and then really get into what they're going on about. But anyhow, Cross Training Adventure Riding. Cross Trainer Adventure Riding is the dim-witted cousin of their dirt riding channel, Cross Training Enduro. I'm going to stop right there and hold my spot. Now, I originally found this channel by watching the Cross Training Enduro channel. And these cats are over in Australia. I think they're a little bit older, but they can ride moto, man. Like, they really get after it. And so I like his demeanor and the way he delivers. He's got this real dry kind of sense of humor, real slap shot, but he speaks well, and he has really informative enduro riding tips. It's good stuff. But they wheelie all the time down there, apparently. I think they get better gas mileage when they don't have two wheels dragging at all time. I don't know. But obviously he's got the skills to do that. Okay, so they mess around along the east coast of Australia on a variety of adventure bikes. Older videos feature the famous DR650, but we're now moving toward bigger bikes, a bit more road, and into the more traditional sense of adventure riding as most know it. I don't know how that last sentence actually stacks up, because the last few videos that I've seen from them was more small adventure bikes, not big gargantuan adventure bikes. Maybe there was. Maybe I just didn't choose to watch them and I chose to watch the small ones. But anyhow, good tips, good stuff, and it makes you just want to get out and be a better rider. Okay, so let me station identification. Brought to you by Hammer Nutrition. All right, so it's November, December, January is coming up. What does January mean every year? Woo! Dakar Rally every year. Okay, so the Dakar Rally this year is going to be hosted out of Saudi Arabia, January 3rd through January 15th. The biggest rally raid in the world. This is the 43rd edition of the Dakar. So, why am I such a huge Dakar fan? I think because I was originally into rally racing, and when I got out of rally and back into moto, it was kind of like that's what kind of led me back to adventure. And while the Dakar is a major competition, it's kind of like the elite of adventure competition. And not that I have any, desire to go race the Dakar, but I would like to go ride the Dakar. They actually have tours where you can trace, whatever Dakar route, or, they have a pre-described route. I think you can rent like XR 400s or something like that and go do the Dakar. You don't have to race the Dakar in order to have the adventure. But I like watching the Dakar, especially the motorcycles and especially the big trucks. And what's rad about this last year, it's been interesting to see like the Americans it's gone over. We've gotten more and more Americans going over the last few years. But this past year is especially awesome. Like you saw in my other video, I said something about Ricky Brabeck and our man Casey Curry. We got 2 Americans, we got 2 podiums this year, and we haven't had podiums from the Americans in quite a long time. But anyhow, that's on the radar, January 3rd and 15th. And their YouTube channel, the videos are just flipping cool. like in the world of it all motorsports, there's F1, WRC, and Dakar. You know, like globally, those are like the big dogs of motorsports globally. Calm down, NASCAR. This is just the United States. So anyhow, I'm a Dakar Rally fan. Okay, next guy I watch, EverrideAD ADV. Now, this guy's really cool. I'm just gonna read his description because he pretty much sums it up, and I just invite you to go check out his channel. I think more or less like he does desert adventure riding. I think he's out of Utah. Yeah, I think he's out of Utah. But anyhow, EverrideAD ADV's mission is to help other people find adventure on two wheels, no matter their budget or background. From distance travel on a budget to technical riding tips to advice and stories that inspire people to make every spare second of their lives an adventure. The EverrideAD ADV channel is a home for adventurers, new and old, with new videos every Sunday. He covers motorcycles, deals, riding tips, budget adventures, reviews, and ride reports. He also has his own personal struggles with depression, poverty, and overcoming adversity, often through adventure. Related analogies that he learns on the trail. Now he does like vlogging. Pretty much, I think he's kind of inspired all of us because he actually talks while he's riding, and he's shared a lot of his personal self while riding, and he's done a marvelous job with him. And you know, I can't relate to him 100% on the depression level, but I understand how that game goes. But I understand the poverty section because I've definitely been in that realm a few times, and I'm kind of back there again. Anyhow, I'm not in the poverty level, but we've all had our struggles. I was in poverty level before, but that's another subject. Anyhow, go check out his channel. He always has great content. He has epic video content. Always the killer shots. He makes you want to go ride. That's like, don't watch it at night unless you got rally lights on your bike, because you're gonna want to go ride that night. You see his video, then you want to go ride. He also does tours. You can hop on his tours. You can come out to his place and go ride and all that. One day we need to get him on a TW200. I think he would do it if there was like a bunch of other TDUBers. I don't think he would do it if he was just the sole single TDUBer. I think he would enjoy it with the community aspect. Okay, enough on that. All right, this next one, I gotta take a big drink. Every single Sunday. Okay? Yes, that is the YouTube channel, Instagram channel. I think he's on Facebook too, I don't know. Every single Sunday. So, it's actually kind of cool. You hear a name like that, and it's like a little play on any Sunday, which is super cool. Anyhow, this Every Single Sunday YouTube channel, this is my buddy Travis Brock. I am like, okay, this is one of those, like, I get emotionally attached to some of these things, but this particular cat, I've known Travis since he was probably 17. I gave him his nickname, Running Lip, because when I met him, this boy has the gift of gab, and he will like push you just to see how you react and come out of it. I love the character. I don't love the character. I love the man, Travis. He's such a unique individual. But anyhow, I've been longtime friends with him, and although we've never really ridden motorcycles together once, but we were really together a lot during our gravel crew years. He's a talent behind the steering wheel as well. But anyhow, and he was a part of our gravel crew and doing our rally events and all that kind of stuff. So he briefly had a TW200 that our other buddy rode more. Travis has some slapshot comedy, can ride a bike, he's not afraid, rides with folks that can also ride. Maybe that's why he doesn't ride with, me and him doesn't ride together, because I can't ride at his level. He's a true inspiration, as his page, Every Single Sunday channel, has landed him a gig with BikeBandit.com, where he creates content for them as a brand ambassador. Okay, so this is super rad, because when you watch his channel, he's making some serious content. He's doing an awesome job. And lo and behold, out of nowhere, Bike Bandit contacted him and says, hey, we want you to come do stuff with us. They patched together a gig, and he's like going for it, and he's doing it. So hats off to him. I love what he does. I love watching him ride, because he is not afraid to put the bike where he wants it to be, whether he's attached to it or not attached to it, or sometimes in his attempt to get it to where he wants it to be, he becomes disattached with the bike. But he shows you how hard enduro can be, but more importantly, he shows you what can be done on two wheels, and I really like that. And he has some other videos too where he rides with some crazy characters. That's the cool thing, is he's living the life of going out and meeting all of the people that can like really ride, and I don't know, finding cool trails. The trails he rides are to dream and die for. So go check out his page, Every Single Sunday. Good old Travis. Love that character. Alright, so moving along. Yeah. Woo. Yeah, we got a lot here, huh? So this next channel, KeepOnDubbin, riding a TW200 on her adventures around Spain. She just finished up her 3-part series, TET Valia, Spain, Pyrenees. So I don't know how to speak anything but English, and I destroy any other language or pronunciation. But anyhow, this girl, she got a TDUB, I think either earlier this year or late last year, and she just started, not girl, she's like a older lady, and she just started getting on the bike and going, and I really commend her for that. She just gets on it and goes and rides. Okay, so here's from her description on her about. She's an Irish expat living in Barcelona and just starting out off-roading on a new to her TW200. Video editing, YouTube channel hosting. I hope to improve my skills in all areas and hope you can join me on my journey by helping me build my channel by subscribing. Ha ha ha. I also ride a 2010 Triumph Bonneville, which I've had for 7 years, and have been riding on road most of my adult life. I also love to work on my bikes where as possible, even though I have no garage and have to do it on a busy tourist-laden street. But hey, why let that stop something I'm passionate about? So I super commend her, and I don't know, it's just super rad that she's like getting out there and doing it, and she's learning off-road dirt. I mean, it's intimidating. You know that. You've all started, and you know, imagine being a woman and going out and riding and learning all this by yourself, and she does it quite often. So I heavily commend her for that. I will keep liking her, videos and giving her encouragement when I can. And hey, who knows, one day, my family's able to travel to Spain, and bam, I'll have to go ride T-dubs with her. Okay, so back up to the adventure spec when I mentioned Lyndon Poskitt. So Lyndon Poskitt, his races to place places series, the Dakar Rally 2018 series, is what got me hooked on following this dude. It's not TW200 content, but it is serious adventure stuff, as he will ride a continent and then stop off to a rally like Dakar when it was in South America and go give it a go and continue on his global journey. All right, let me stop and hold. Yeah, like, dude was traveling North America here and was like looking at the calendar and like, oh yeah, Dakar Rally's coming up in South America. I'll just ride down there and I'll just enter the race the race, and then continue on with my journey. Okay, Joe, I can't even speak right now. Like, Jimmy Jam Flammy Bams, man. Like, if you ain't into following that action, I don't care what brand of motorcycle he's riding. Yes, he's riding a KTM and blah, 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 all that. But it's another, he's got a nice YouTube channel, nice production, and I've seen him cry on video in the middle of the Dakar Rally. It just got really hard, and his spirit got broken, but he got back up on his bike, and he kept on rocking, and at the end of the day, he had a ton of fun afterwards, but it was just that particular moment. And but I love the fact that he films it all, and he shares all that, and you know, he shares what he's going through and how he does it, and has riding tips and all that kind of good stuff. I highly recommend you just go start at that Dakar Rally 2018 series and just start there and follow it. I think it's like, I don't know, I want to say 13, 15, 16 episodes or whatever. You just like, oh man. And you know, the Dakar Rally, it's 15 days, 3,000 miles. I don't know, it's crazy. But he oh yeah, okay, now that I remember, it's like he shows you the behind the scenes of the Dakar Rally, like all the big trucks and bikes and teams getting on the boats and signing up and going through registration. Did he have his passports? Did he have his medical thing? Yeah, he showed you this great behind the scenes glimpse into the Dakar Rally like I had never ever seen before. So I was really intrigued with like all that kind of good stuff. So that was really cool. Go have fun. Go knock it out. All right. You're like, GC Rad 1, where's the TW200 content? Okay, I got some TW200 content for you. Check out my man Matt of MOBSTREET 83. So, Matt is a solid dude. I'm looking forward to the day I can cross paths with him and shake his hand and twist throttles with him. So, I don't know, he's just a genuine dude, just genuinely doing TDUB things, and he lives out on this ranch. He rides up in the mountains. I don't know, he just has fun, and he's doing his TDUB videos, and it's just super cool. What more can I say? Oh, the one video, it was like, you know, he did the can you bump start your TW200 in case your battery goes bad, you know, with no, you know, the 2001 ups don't have kickstart, and he was just like, I just want to see if I can bump start this thing. I think he did the second or third gear bump, but it's just kind of cool stuff like that. And he, you know, just kind of shares some tips and tricks and different things that he's doing. And you know, he follows myself and a few of my other friends, and so he's just part of the community. So if you want to get to know, you know, TDUB, I'm sitting over here looking at my TDUB, guys. Sorry, man. I should have had it right here where I could pet it, but Matt makes me want to pet my TDUB a lot more. So go watch MOBSTREET 83. Check out the link down below. It's down in the gushy text. Yeah, you're going to have to read through some text and do all that. Okay. Wildman goes outside. Wildman goes outside. Okay, he doesn't have anything in his about section. It's just blank. But with a name like that, Wildman Goes Outside, you kind of know. But what I do know is he's riding his 2020 Yamaha TW200 over in Georgia. I'm now in Alabama. He's in Georgia. So I've already contacted him. And he's in the ham radios. So if you're in the ham radios and you're in the T-Dubs, then this might be a cat to talk to, because he's carrying his ham radio on his T-Dub. And this one video, let me jump to my description. Yeah, this one video, I was watching him, and I'm like, he's not camping out. His bear bag ain't big enough. What is he doing? He slings this cord up in the trees, and it's actually some kind of mobile antenna that he like slung up into the trees, and he's talking to like cats in the next state. So I definitely need to get on the ham radio tip with this cat, and he's up on the other side of the Talladega National Forest over in Georgia, and so hopefully I can catch a ride with him, and we can talk shop and talk ham radios, and maybe that's what we should do, man. We should start a national Yamaha TW200 ham radio club or something. I don't know. I gotta talk to Wildman and see if that's even feasible. I don't know. Anyhow, so moving along. You know I can't do my first TW200 report without talking about TDUBSkid. We all know he is the TW200 godfather, riding his 2014 Yamaha TW200. He is usually dropping a video each week or every other week, and his first video was uploaded May 5th of 2015. So he's kind of been doing this for a minute. That's why he's the TDUB godfather. All right, he covers a lot of great tips about riding, TW200 maintenance, and the gear he's using. And I would love to ride with this guy. His terrain looks awesome. And Till Death Do Us Sport, which is my buddy down in SoCal, we were a little bummed when we found out that he was coming down to California. He participated in this rally out there, but he wasn't, I think he went with some other friends, so I don't know how that worked out, but we were ready to like enter the event just so we could ride with TDUBSkid. So one day we're gonna have to go track him down and ride in his neck of the woods, which looks awesome. I wouldn't mind riding in his neck of the woods. It's just not in my cards right now. But TDUBSkid, excellent video production quality, quirky, funny. He's having fun. I love his content, and I don't have to tell you, you already know you're watching him. Alright, so this next one, this is my guilty pleasure. It's called Unroof. Yes, I said it. U-N-R-O-O-F, like unroof, like take the roof off. Alright, this is my guilty pleasure, like I said. Unroof is in Japan. These videos that Unroof creates have no talking in them. Very much the opposite of me. But they are typically long, beautiful, and based around camping. I don't know why, but I get sucked in, and the next thing you know, it's 4 a.m. I don't watch all of them. I watch them when I can. I watch them when I'm in the right mood. But he just makes the simplest of things look beautiful. I don't know. Makes you want to go out and do it. Very creative. He doesn't even have a TW200. He does ride a motorcycle, and he has a little off-road rig. But it's always these. I like looking at other cultures of how they do what they do in camping. We all have that universal thing, but they'll set up a wedge this way and set up a wedge this way for wind block. They cook. Like, I don't know. I'm intrigued with how other countries do things, so I like watching. That's my one guilty pleasure outside of, motorsports and T-Dub and all that. I do have my personal YouTube channel, which has all my other 8 billion subscriptions of 9 billion other things. I'm a very complicated guy. I'm like all over the map. So for my Yamaha TDUB club, I try to keep it as clean as possible in my subscription so I can stay focused. But Unroof is my one guilty pleasure. Okay, so without further ado, last but not least is Till Death Duel a Sport. I can't, okay, you guys have probably seen us riding together. Maybe you haven't seen us riding together, but Nick and I have shot some videos together, and, you know, kind of, I'll just go. What can I say? I remember the first day I met him. We met through social media on Instagram. He lived on the other side of the mountain from me, back when I lived in California. I say lived, as I moved to Alabama. But we just started riding more and more together, and it was such a pleasure to watch his riding skills develop with each outing. Like, it was super rad. Like, he was just getting into the whole dirt biking thing again. I think he rode like way, you know, many years ago when he was a kid or something. So he was kind of getting back into it, and every time we went out, you know, his skills would just get better and better. It's been a lot of fun, you know, riding with my man Nick. Then he would go off on his own rides, and he would just continually get better, pushing himself and his TW200. From Nick's About page, as a Yamaha TW200 rider, we can't take ourselves too seriously when it comes to how we fit into the vast expanses of the dual sport motorcycles. In fact, the whole reason I chose to ride a TW200 is to get away from the same old that plagues social media. Bust out of that hard enduro echo chamber, slow down, enjoy your surroundings, and ride a TW200. Now, that last little part there, it's kind of funny that Nick wrote that, and when I first met him, he truly fit that. But as you watch his progression, and I don't know how long you guys have been watching Nick's channel, but if you go back and see where he is now, he rides faster, he rides smoother, he rides more confident. So he's basically, I can't say he's in that hard enduro space, but he's so much closer to it now than he was before. I think it's a, you know, it's all a attitude mindset, you know, which I totally agree with him on that, because that's, we aligned on so many similar paths. Nick and I had some great camping moto. We didn't have a ton, but the times we had, I will cherish for the rest of my life, because we shared this passion for these stupid, silly little Yamaha TW200s. And for that, go check out Nick's page, Till Death Duel a Sport. What a name. And his graphic, his video content is like going off the hook. I'm getting, no, I'm just tired, man. I'm not getting teary-eyed. So many people that I didn't get to ride with before I left California, but the earth is round. I might be back. Who knows? Like, I never say never, because you never know. So anyhow, that was 17 YouTube channels that I am subscribed to. If you will, down in the comments, please share your top 3 or top 5 YouTube channels that you subscribe to. And if I'm missing, there are some other TW200 guys that I'm following, and you know, maybe their content's not quite there yet, or maybe they're just not posting regularly enough, or whatever it is. But I have my eye on them, and maybe in my next report, I will highlight some new guys that are kind of coming up. Yeah, what more can I say? I'm GC Rad 1. This is the Yamaha TDUB Club, and massive thank you for listening to me babble, because I can't rap right now. But I will be very soon. Got my Hammer Nutrition Tissue Rejuvenator, and this stuff, I swear by it. I just got to get it back into my system, because as you can see, my bottle is empty. Come on, Hammer. Give me one more time. This nice sheep out here in the middle of the desert.
Beautiful specimen.
Yeah,
Very
found some
red.
nice water space out in the middle of just the desert, and it's like letting us pet it. And then I was telling Nick, like, he's got to use that cartoon piece, but it's so fluffy. Nice little sheep. What do you say, Nick? How you liking that?
Oh, I'm loving it, man.
Oh, loving it.
Oh, I'm loving it.
What do you call this little thing over here? I don't know. But guess what? There's going to be something that's going to be appearing right there real soon.